Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about affordable housing and public safety. My guest is Rob Bonta, a member of the State Assembly representing Oakland. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, and thank you for being with us. And so let's talk first of all about affordable housing. I mean, statewide, it looks like supposedly we need, what, 1.5 million affordable houses to take care of a problem, and there's very little money out there to do that. I mean, bond money from 10 years ago was all dried up, although the governor has put a considerable sum into his revised budget.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, we're in a crisis. We're in a state of emergency when it comes to affordable housing in the state. We have folks who were born in communities or grew up in communities, want to raise their families in those same communities, but can't afford to stay there. They're being displaced. They're being pushed out. And to me, we need an all-hands-on-deck approach. So I'm very pleased that in the governor's May revise, he's proposed significant amounts of funding to address our affordable housing crisis. And I've also been working locally to provide a tool for cities like the city of Oakland, which is in my district, to get bonds online quickly and get housing supply up and available immediately. So we need all of our levels of government to work together, state, local, county, federal.
Of course, the redevelopment agencies are no longer with us.
That's right.
And that was the governor's proposal a couple of years ago.
That was a big loss to lose the redevelopment agencies that paid for affordable housing and other economic redevelopment. And since then, we haven't had a dedicated source of funding at the state level for affordable housing. We need to get something back. In the meantime, the proposal for this year's budget is significant. Alameda County, where I represent, is also working on a bond. So when we put all the puzzle pieces together, each one being significant in its own right, it creates a whole which is powerful in addressing our affordable housing crisis.
So let's segue to the second item, which is public safety. I mean, Oakland, as you know, certainly has a reputation, and the stats back it up, of being a very challenging community in terms of public safety. And so I'm kind of interested in where you're headed in trying to make things better. Yeah,
you know, when I got elected, we had just experienced the national tragedy of Newtown, Connecticut, with the mass shootings of our own children there. Recently, of course, we experienced San Bernardino right here in California. And both times, in my view, Congress neglected to act at the federal level. But California has traditionally acted to address gun violence, and we're doing so this year. Oakland, as you mentioned, has one of the highest levels of gun violence in the state and in the nation. We had 89 homicides last year, most all from gun violence. When I talk to kids in youth programs and in classrooms, and I asked who's been touched by gun violence, almost every time, every kid raises their hand, and that's unacceptable. So if we can act and we can prevent death or harm from gun violence, we should. And I have a bill this year which addresses the issue that was at the centerpiece of the San Bernardino tragedy, which is the issue of straw purchasers. When someone who is legally allowed to purchase a gun purchases a gun and gives it to someone who is prohibited legally from purchasing a gun, and then that gun gets into that person's hands, and bad things happen after that. So we're trying to crack down on straw purchasing and also trying to heal our students and young people and youth who are facing gun violence through trauma-informed care.
Of course, the black market is the black market because it's basically goes around our laws, and so there's always the question, you know, California has the strongest gun laws in the nation, is that yet we still have problems.
Yeah, we do, and the black market will always be a challenge. Guns coming in from other states, nearby states, adjacent states into California will always be a challenge. But there are things that we can do right here in the state of California to strengthen our prevention of use of illegal guns, and we're doing that.
All right. Rob Bonta, Oakland, a member of the Assembly, thanks for coming by and talking to us about these issues. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Honored to be here.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on the California channel, on My Government On Demand, and YouTube. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.